In May 2025, the world watched in awe as the Qatari royal family presented President Donald Trump with a gift that would make even the most seasoned diplomats do a double-take: a $400 million Boeing 747-8 private jet. The gesture was not just grand, it was unprecedented, instantly capturing the attention of global media and political analysts alike. The sheer scale of the offering, both in value and symbolism, sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, raising eyebrows and questions in equal measure. This wasn't just a plane, it was a flying palace, meticulously crafted to embody the height of luxury and excess. Inside, the jet boasted opulent suites, a lavish lounge adorned with crystal chandeliers, and gold accents gleaming from every corner. Every detail was designed to impress, from the hand-stitched leather seats to the private spa and dining room fit for royalty. It was a symbol of power and prestige, a statement that transcended mere transportation, a gift truly fit for a sultan or perhaps a president with a taste for the extraordinary. The announcement, made during Trump's high-profile Gulf visit, instantly transformed what might have been a routine diplomatic trip into a global spectacle. Cameras flashed, reporters scrambled for details, and the world's attention zeroed in on the unfolding drama. The jet became the centerpiece of the visit, overshadowing policy discussions and trade talks, and dominating headlines across continents. For Qatar, this was more than a display of wealth, it was a calculated move, a bold statement of intent. By offering such an extravagant gift, the Qatari leadership signaled their desire for a closer, more influential relationship with the US president. It was a diplomatic overture wrapped in gold and luxury, designed to impress not just Trump, but the world. Trump, never one to downplay a deal or miss an opportunity for spectacle, hailed the gift as a testament to his negotiating prowess and the respect he commanded on the world stage. He spoke glowingly of the gesture, using it as evidence of his ability to forge strong international partnerships and secure benefits for the United States. The moment played perfectly into his brand, one built on luxury, deal-making, and global influence. But this was no ordinary diplomatic gesture. It was a gift worth more than the annual GDP of some small nations, blurring the already thin line between international courtesy and political influence. The sheer magnitude of the jet, both in cost and extravagance, raised serious questions about the nature of such gifts and the potential implications for international relations. Was this generosity, or was it an attempt to curry favor with the world's most powerful leader? The world was left asking, why such extravagance, and what did Qatar hope to gain in return? Was this a simple act of friendship, or a strategic move in the complex chess game of global politics? As headlines blared and pundits speculated, the true motives behind the gift became the subject of intense debate and scrutiny. The story of this jet is about far more than luxury. It's a window into the tangled web of personal relationships, national interests, and the intricate laws designed to protect the integrity of the presidency. As the world watched, one question lingered. In the realm of global power, where does generosity end and influence begin? Facing criticism, Trump spun the jet as a win for America, not himself. He insisted the plane was a gift to the US government, destined for the Department of Defense, not his personal fleet. Trump framed it as a savvy upgrade for Air Force One, at no cost to taxpayers. He dismissed ethics concerns as political noise, painting himself as a master dealmaker securing a bargain for the nation. The message, only a fool would reject such generosity from a key ally. But this defense sidestepped the real question. What did Qatar expect in return? The plan for the jet's future was as unconventional as the gift itself. Rather than simply accepting the aircraft as a straightforward diplomatic gesture, the parties involved devised a strategy that would allow the jet to serve multiple purposes over time. This was not just about transportation or prestige, it was about creating a legacy and, perhaps, a loophole. Officially, Qatar would donate the jet to the US Air Force, making it seem like a national asset. The transfer would be celebrated as a symbol of international cooperation and military partnership, with ceremonies and press releases highlighting the generosity of the gift and the strength of the alliance. But behind the scenes, a different plan was unfolding. After Trump's term, the plane would be decommissioned and transferred to the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library, a private institution under his control. This meant that what began as a state asset would ultimately become a centerpiece of Trump's personal legacy, displayed for visitors and supporters. Unlike the Reagan Library's retired Air Force One, which served for decades and became a symbol of American history, this jet would be nearly new, gifted during Trump's presidency, and quickly handed over for his personal use. The contrast was striking. One aircraft earned through years of service, the other acquired through a carefully orchestrated transaction. Critics saw this as a clever scheme to turn a foreign gift into a permanent Trump perk. They argued that the process exploited legal gray areas, allowing a personal benefit to be disguised as a public good. The move sparked heated debates on cable news and in editorial pages, with some calling it a masterstroke of political maneuvering, and others decrying it as a blatant abuse of power. The arrangement blurred the line between public service and private gain. It raised uncomfortable questions about where government ends and personal interest begins, especially when the two seem so closely intertwined. For many, it was a vivid example of how influence and access can reshape the rules. It was a long game: launder a personal gift through government channels, then reclaim it as a historical exhibit. The paperwork would be in order, the optics carefully managed, and the end result would be a private asset with the veneer of public history. The move raised alarms about the integrity of the process and the true intent behind the gift. Lawmakers and watchdog groups demanded investigations, warning that such maneuvers could set a dangerous precedent for future leaders. In the end, the jet became more than just a plane. It became a symbol of the ongoing struggle over ethics, transparency, and the boundaries of presidential privilege. At the heart of the controversy is the U.S. Constitution's Foreign Emoluments Clause. It forbids federal officials from accepting gifts from foreign states without Congress's consent, a safeguard against corruption and foreign influence. Legal experts called the Qatari jet a textbook violation, regardless of whether it was routed through the Department of Defense. The administration argued the gift was legal since it wasn't for Trump personally, but critics called this a thin pretense. The only legal path was congressional approval, which was never sought. The clause isn't just about bribery, it's about preventing even the appearance of divided loyalties. Accepting such a gift risks making the president beholden to foreign interests. The founders designed this firewall for exactly this kind of situation. News of the jet triggered a rare moment of unity in Washington, outrage from both sides of the aisle. Progressives called it blatantly corrupt. Even some Republicans balked at the sheer audacity. Senator Bernie Sanders called it farcically corrupt, while Senator Josh Hawley labeled it excessive and corrupt. Conservative commentators joined in, warning of a dangerous precedent. For many Americans, the idea of their president accepting a luxury jet from a foreign nation felt like something out of a gangster movie. Watchdog groups called it the most corrupt deal in American history. The backlash underscored a core value: the presidency is not for sale. The controversy became a symbol of the growing fear that American foreign policy was being auctioned to the highest bidder. To understand the jet's significance, you have to understand Qatar. This tiny Gulf nation is both a vital U.S. military partner and a controversial regional player. Qatar hosts the massive Al Udeid air base, critical to U.S. operations, but also funds groups like Hamas, complicating its relationship with Washington. At the same time, the Trump Organization has business interests in Qatar, blurring the lines between public office and private profit. The jet wasn't just a gesture of friendship, it was a calculated investment in influence. For Qatar, currying favor with the U.S. president is a strategic asset. The gift was a high-stakes move to secure access, security, and leverage in both business and diplomacy. It was a spectacular bet that generosity would buy a seat at the table. The jet's risks went far beyond ethics. Air Force One is a flying command center packed with top-secret tech and security features. Accepting a foreign-built plane, even from an ally, posed huge security risks: potential hidden surveillance devices, unknown vulnerabilities. To make it safe, the U.S. would have to strip and rebuild the jet from scratch, costing taxpayers millions. Trump sold the gift as a bargain, but the security overhaul would be anything but cheap. Instead of saving money, the deal threatened to become a costly boondoggle. The jet, meant as a symbol of friendship, looked more like a modern Trojan horse, luxurious on the outside but a potential liability within. It raised serious questions about judgment and the true cost of free gifts. The Qatari jet wasn't an isolated incident, it was the most brazen example of a pattern. Throughout his presidency, Trump blurred the lines between public duty and private business, hosting foreign dignitaries at his resorts and pursuing deals abroad. His administration's close ties to Gulf states, including massive investments from Saudi Arabia, fueled accusations that U.S. diplomacy was for sale. Foreign governments learned that personal gestures and business deals were the surest way to gain favor. The jet fit this pattern, a foreign power offering a grand gesture to secure influence. Meanwhile, Trump's family continued to profit from overseas deals, deepening concerns about conflicts of interest. The controversy became a symbol of a presidency where personal gain and public service were dangerously intertwined. The Qatari jet saga is more than a story of presidential excess. It's a window into the complex relationship between power, influence, and the values that define American leadership. This is not just about one extravagant gift, but about the deeper questions it raises for a nation that prides itself on transparency and accountability. At its core, this controversy is a test of American democracy. It challenges the very foundation of the republic, asking whether the system can withstand the pressures of personal ambition and foreign enticement. It forces the nation to confront whether its constitutional safeguards, carefully crafted over centuries, can truly hold up when a president views them as mere obstacles, rather than essential boundaries meant to protect the public good. When a foreign government offers such a lavish gift, it's naive to think there are no strings attached. These gestures are rarely just tokens of friendship. They often come with expectations, spoken or unspoken, that can shape international relationships in subtle but significant ways. The jet became a $400 million symbol of potential compromise and foreign influence, raising alarms about the integrity of the highest office in the land. It's a reminder that even the appearance of impropriety can erode public trust. The attempt to legitimize the gift through government channels exposed the fragility of ethics laws. It revealed loopholes and gray areas that can be exploited, highlighting the urgent need for reform and vigilance. The bipartisan backlash showed that many Americans still believe public office is a public trust, not a personal prize. Citizens and lawmakers alike demanded accountability, proving that the spirit of democracy is alive even when tested. The Flying Palace asks a provocative question: is the presidency for sale? Can the highest office in the land be swayed by luxury and privilege, or does it remain above such temptations? Can foreign nations buy influence with extravagant gifts, or will American institutions stand firm against such attempts? The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. The answers to these questions will shape not only the future of the American presidency, but also the health and resilience of its democracy for generations to come.